Hello, and welcome to the American Massage, Chiropractic, and Acupuncture Conference pre-conference broadcast series on One Concept Radio. I'm Felicia Brown, and I'll be your host for this interview and series. This is one of several broadcasts with the presenters and experts who are appearing at this year's event, happening April 20th through 22nd, 2012, in San Diego, California, and who are brought to you by the One Concept Group. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the 2012 American Massage, Chiropractic, and Acupuncture Conference sponsors, Massage Warehouse Script, MPA Media, H.J. Ross, ABMP, and Massage Envy Careers for making this year's event possible. Our special guest today is David Kent. David and I will be talking about his 3-hour class, Headaches, Types, Triggers, and Treatments. But before we begin, let me tell you a little about David. David Kent is the president and founder of Kent Health Systems that teaches full-body dissection seminars to massage therapists and acupuncture physicians at the University of South Florida College of Medicine. He also teaches deep tissue medical massage and practice building seminars and has developed a line of products including the postural analysis grid chart, trigger point charts, personalized essential office forms, muscle movement chart, and a series of DVD programs. He has a monthly column in Massage Today called Keeping It Simple that provides treatment and practice building tips. David is also a regular contributor for Massage Magazine and other leading trade journals on topics from dissection and postural analysis to trigger points. David, welcome to the American Massage, Chiropractic, and Acupuncture Conference pre-conference broadcast series. I'm excited to talk to you again, and today learning about your class, Headaches, Types, Triggers, and Treatments.
Hey, Felicia, thank you for having me on, Felicia, and I'm excited to be here today. I'd like to thank all our listeners for taking the time to tune in. I want to thank our sponsors and, of course, the One Concept Group for making this pre-conference broadcast possible and bringing us the American Massage, Chiropractic, and Acupuncture Conference. It's going to be an awesome time. I'm looking forward to seeing you there, Felicia.
Well, as always, it's a pleasure to be able to interview you and to have you at the conference again. I know that you were one of the presenters at last year's inaugural conference in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm curious, although I think I probably know the answer or answers, why did you want to be a part of the event in San Diego?
Hey, you know what? We're bringing all the groups that I work with together. I mean, I work with other healthcare groups, but, massage, chiropractic, acupuncture, I work with them all the time. And the conference is going to bring us all under one umbrella. One Concept Group brings us together, the vendors, the therapists. We get to see, touch, feel the products. We get to hear the different presenters. There's a wide range of different presenters. And, I'm looking forward to being out in San Diego. I haven't taught in California in a long time. 3 of my favorite professions I'll be teaching too. And then I get to see old friends like you, network some, and to meet some new friends. So it's going to be great.
Oh, most definitely. Is there anything in particular that you're looking forward to over the weekend that we're there?
A little bit of everything is what I'm going to take in. It's definitely, there's going to be entertainment, there's going to be parties, there's going to be education, and like I said, it's just rekindling and making new friendships, and it's just diverse. It's a unique group of people. There's no membership for anyone to come. It's an awesome experience. If you haven't been to a conference, and even if you have, you should check it out for sure.
I definitely agree with you. This is a conference that is so energized, full of anything you can get your hands on really related to learning about massage, and in this case also chiropractic and acupuncture, having added those. Great classes, great vendors, lots of fun events, and a chance to unwind a little bit with the people there, too. It's not all business, although there's plenty of time for that. But there's a lot of fun things at this conference that allow us to have a good time together and learn at the same time.
There are, and there's going to be plenty of those events, so you want to save your energy, conserve a little bit for everything throughout the whole conference, and plan for it, because it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, and sometimes there are theme parties in the evening, and if there are, you want to dress appropriately. It will be fun. Pictures will be taken. You will be posted on Facebook.
Yeah, although hopefully not all. We all have, sometimes
right.
people have a little too much fun, but
right.
all the good stuff, the memorable good stuff will be shared.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to talk about your class, David, on headaches, and I know that when you're teaching this class, you're not just teaching as an instructor, but are actually someone who's had debilitating headaches and chronic neck pain, but is now pain-free. Can you tell me a little bit about that and explain maybe how that led you to become a massage therapist?
Yes. Headaches. I've been where many of my patients are. I've been on the medications. I've suffered from severe chronic debilitating headaches. So I can really relate to my patients, as you can. I know you've suffered with headaches as well. And I basically try to deliver to them what's worked for me over the years and also what's worked for my patients. It's a combination of many things, but it was definitely my experience with neck pain and headaches, and I had an incurable diagnosis at one time, and which I don't have anymore. And so many of my symptoms have cleared up, and for a great part of that, I do contribute to the information I learned from this profession. So I teach from a place of passion.
Well, that is evident. For anybody that's ever been in your class, they know that's true. It's not just a passion on the inside, but you make your classes really fun and energizing and exciting on the outside, too. So I think that's a great place to come from as an educator and as a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
So you are still an actively practicing therapist at the Muscular Pain Relief Center that you opened in 1992, right?
That's right.
And you've been in practice then for a pretty good while. Can you tell me and tell our listeners what you did to stand apart from your competition over the years?
The biggest thing for me to get well and to be pain-free today was to understand the cause of my pain. Some people would tell me the cause was food. Some people would tell me the cause was a trigger point. It's like everyone was telling me different things, but it was like it took me a long time to finally kind of get it all, maybe, they say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, but, I'm
right.
always feeling like I'm the student, trust me. And, but whatever has helped me and my patients is what I have always delivered in the treatment room, and that is education. Education so that people could help uncover themselves the root causes of their headaches. You can't tell people anything. They're going to have to just figure it out themselves. You can ask questions, you can guide them, you can give them information, but in the end, they have to decide. You can't change people. But many of the people that are coming through your doors looking for pain relief are looking for information and some direction.
And so how does that make a practitioner different, though? I mean, don't we all share information, or are you saying some practitioners don't tell their patients what they need to know?
I guess when I share information, I do it on a visual, auditory, kinesthetic level. I want people, and I look at all the different symptoms. You and I were talking about how there are different causes, but the way I really stand apart is how I educate, I feel. And I educate before, during, and after the treatment session. And I'm educating them using visual cues, whether it's images. I'm educating them auditorily, explaining to them kinesthetically. I may have them feel certain trigger points or movements. But I can tell you, anyone around town who will tell you that what really makes me stand apart is how we deliver the education.
And that's one thing that I've said this before, in fact, in our other interview on the other class you're going to be teaching at the American Massage, Chiropractic, and Acupuncture Conference. I talked about this a little bit, but you have developed an amazing system of tools to assist in this process for your patients. I think that's primarily why you developed it, correct? But now that you have them available for practitioners as well.
Right, of course, yes, I definitely do. And, and what it does, it just helps me keep the clutter out of my head, stay focused on the root cause of what's going on with the patient, and, deliver good quality treatment and education, and, just keep it focused and targeted and do it effectively, efficiently.
Well, that's so important to really be focused. I know if I don't feel like I know what I'm doing, then it's probably coming across to the patient or client as such too. And so to be prepared and to have all the information in front of you where you can easily access it can make a huge difference in making that positive impression, particularly with new clients. They haven't had a chance to really trust you yet. And so being prepared and having all of this there is a way for them to start to trust you and to see that you're a professional and that you actually do know what you're talking about.
Right. That's exactly what you do when you come in and you help therapists and spas get their facilities or their practices organized, is you help create certain systems. And one of the key ones are, point of contact with your your potential leads or your sales, and then how do you close that lead or that sale, which is really what you're doing. As much as we don't want to think of it that way, if you want them to come back or leave you a good tip and recommend their friends to come to you, you need to leave a good impression. Even if you think you're seeing them once, they could be at your spa or hotel for a week or in town. They thought they were only going to be there for a day and flying out, and now they're not going home for 2 weeks and they need you. So you definitely I never consider it a one-time treatment. You never know.
Yeah, one of the things I refer to in my business is that marketing is really happening in every touch, and that you can't suppose that all of the information the client is gathering about how great you are is happening during the hands-on portion of their visit. There are a lot of other points in their visit when they are actively gathering data and saying, do I like this practitioner? Do I want to come back to this office? Simple things like, is their bathroom clean? And, is the treatment room warm? To how your hands feel and what kind of follow-up you do. So all these things that you're talking about, while some practitioners may look at them as assistance for the actual treatment, I look at them as marketing tools, because what you're really doing is selling.
Right, and as we've discussed, you're even doing a visual, auditory, kinesthetic thing too. Visually, how does the place look? Auditorily, how do you answer the phone, communicate, and talk to them? Kinesthetically, are these, linens nice, soft, down, whatever, or, are they hard? Or is the room cold or is it warm? That's kinesthetic. So, and then I take it on to a level with their headaches, where I try to start educating them on the cause and of their headaches from a visual, auditory, kinesthetic point of view. Because they do walk in and they're visually, auditorily, kinesthetically, like you said, judging you all the way through. Now I step into the treatment room, or, it's time for me to start being practitioner. I've greeted them, whatever setting you might be in. And now there's a whole new educational experience to take place about their headaches on a visual, auditory, kinesthetic level.
Right, and when you're doing that, you're really helping them to understand the cause versus the symptom, so that they're grasping what it is that you're doing in the treatment room and why you're prescribing certain exercises. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say prescribe. Massage therapists shirk when I say that, or, we can't prescribe. When you recommend exercises for them to do, now they're getting a better understanding, correct?
Oh yeah, because we always want to connect the true cause and effect. We want them to understand that their pain is a symptom. Their pain is a symptom. So they typically want their symptom rubbed. Well, there's a reason why the back of their neck hurts and their head hurts. And even though it feels good for us to rub the back of their neck and their head and their scalp, when they've got a headache, there's other areas of the body they need to be educated on. So to look and help educate them on the cause and effect so that they understand the difference between symptoms that they're having and causes. And there again, it could be food, there's many different reasons. Part of it could be biomechanics. Are they sitting in an awkward position where they have their head turned all day, and muscles like the suboccipitals and sternocleidomastoid and other muscles are setting up trigger points just because their computer screen is off to one side instead of directly in front of them? Do they have limited range of motion where they're not moving the rest of their body properly, or maybe there's a problem somewhere else in their body which is now causing them to slump forward because of their back pain, which is a whole nother class you've interviewed me on. But on the head, that back pain could cause them to slump forward, and now, they've got this forward head posture, which ties into their posture. So the limited range of motion in one spot of the body affects the posture throughout the body. Posture helps us identify if the muscles are shortened. There's many things that's going on with people with headaches. There could be nutritional reasons. There could be mental well-being situations, as we all know as therapists. Right. But basically what we're treating is the myofascial component of their pain. And it's the muscles and the fascia. And it doesn't matter what type of work you're doing, you're going to be affecting certain things like their posture. You're going to, as you release tissues, their biomechanics will increase, but you want them to understand what and why, and you want them to understand the trigger points that you may identify during the treatment and how those are connected. So we try to do that on a visual, auditory, kinesthetic way. Visually, we take pictures and auditorily communicate that with them. I'll circle trigger point charts with them so that on the wall when I'm in the clinic, I use wet erase markers. The charts are laminated, so I can take a wet erase marker and just circle them real quick. And I've got them set up in columns, so like all the muscles on the back of the neck are in one column, superficial to deep. So trapezius on the top, and then deep muscles like suboccipitals on the bottom of the column. And when I'm doing like out calls or a health fair or I'm educating, I'm working at a 5K race or whatever, I take flip charts with me. And if you have an iPhone, a smartphone, the new iPad, something that takes a picture, you can take posture anywhere easily. And now you can even video gait. So there's so many ways that a massage therapist can easily educate therapists on so many different levels very quickly. I mean, everything I talked about sounds complicated like we've talked about, but it's really not hard to show them the myofascial causes or connections to their headaches. And then you can educate them on nutrition and other things later, and during the treatment. So I hope that's answered that question, some of the ways that I educate them on, the causes, their symptoms, and the soft tissue causes of those headaches and how we're going to treat them. And like I said, I've got a way where I circle the charts to help remind me of the possible trigger points. And then I'm like educating them so they understand why I'm going to touch the front of their neck, like sternocleidomastoid, even though that doesn't hurt them. When they have headaches in their temple, like they don't understand why, they don't understand why is that tender when you touch it, because otherwise it didn't hurt. And then I need to show them their posture or show them why the muscles in the back hurt because the muscles in the front are shortened. And once I show them, a picture is worth almost everyone
words.
Ended in their head 1,000 words exactly. So that's how I try to deliver the information.
So, what are some of the causes of headaches that you'll be covering at your class and that people will be learning how to treat?
So besides all these things I just rambled through, biomechanics and posture, and all these other things, I'm going to also be showing you in class treatment techniques. I'm going to be going over in class the anatomy for these muscles and our, certain things in our skeletal system that we want to educate our clients on. And I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm going to even show you in class like some tips, like I'm going to show you a patient who had real terrible headaches and, neck pain, like couldn't turn, show you like before and after videos so you can get an idea of what type of changes that you can make. It's one thing to talk about. It's another thing. It's nice to see it when you can. So, and I'll demonstrate some techniques in class, and we'll talk about precautions, look at some dissection anatomy on video, and I'm going to deliver a real visual, auditory, kinesthetic class to keep everyone awake and alert.
I have no doubt of that. I don't think you have any worries of people falling asleep in your class, David. You make it really fun and interesting.
I just think if I was the student, how would I want it delivered to me? Make it fun, keep it simple. What are the key points here,
Right.
Because in many cases, isn't that what you're teaching? You're teaching, look, if you follow these things, it's so easy and works in most of the cases. And if not, then here's something else to follow. And if that doesn't work, then here's, it's like all these different ways, like you were talking about systems, to just easily move through and when systems run everything in our body. There's multiple systems that have to work properly together in our body for it to function and work right, and we need to have good systems in our practices and our businesses for them to be healthy and for them to operate right and well for a long, healthy lifetime. You know what I'm saying? And we want to have a good, healthy retirement out of our practice, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially,
Exactly.
So that's, and I try to, because I've been doing this for decades and I'm still a practitioner that goes into the room. So, and I've hit these different potholes or bumps in the road during my career where, it's hard to keep that balance, like I said, of, that physical, emotional, that spiritual, that financial, all those different relationship balances that we need to maintain in our practice and with our, and with our personal lives. So there is definitely a lot for us to balance. And, it's hard to find a place where people have that type of experience that can share some of those, ways that they've delivered it.
Right.
Or survived it.
Well, and, I like to tell people that if you are setting an example for your clients, it's easier for you to give them the suggestion or the reminder that you do about how they need to have balance, how they need to be doing stretching or making certain dietary modifications or what have you. If you're not living that example yourself, then I think it's very hard to be authentic in providing recommendations if you're not following them yourself.
And that was part of my challenge when I was trying to get some of these, healthcare practitioners, whether allopathic, alternative, whatever I saw, they weren't walking their talk. It's like they're telling me one thing, but it's not what I'm seeing even out of them. So it is hard to make some of these changes. But like you said, when you're following through yourself, you come from a place of passion because it works.
Exactly. Are there any other tips that you're going to be sharing in your class in terms of educating people about their headaches or designing treatment plans that you'll be teaching at the event this year?
Yeah, well, I always talk about, different tips and techniques besides the one we talked about today, but just how to communicate, how to use your different forms that are at your access, that you can create or that are on the market to get better answers or be better prepared once you start your treatment or to rule out any precautions. I'm going to also talk about just how sometimes a better way of asking a question to to a patient makes a big difference as to how you get an answer out of them. And some patients can be more talkative than other ones, and people sometimes need to talk and get a certain amount of information out, I understand. So I'm going to try to give you the different tips that I can. Whatever questions people have, I'll be in the exhibit hall throughout I'll either be in different classes teaching, I'm teaching multiple classes at the conference, or I'll be in the exhibit hall, or I'll be in the events, like we were talking about. Feel free anytime you see me at the conference, you're more than welcome. Come up, stop by, ask me a question. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. And if I do, I'll be more than happy to give you an answer.
I know that is true. If you can catch him, he's Mr. Busy at these conferences. I know he's going to be running from one class to the next, as you always do, David. But in between now and the conference, do you have any suggestions or advice for people who are interested in learning to work with those who suffer from headaches, or perhaps who have headaches themselves?
Well, one is I do have a lot of resources for practitioners to definitely take a look at on my website, and that's kenthealth.com, or you can go to davidkent.com. Either one takes you to the same location. And I've got articles and video clips that you can watch. You can add yourself to an email list that talks about articles on like different muscles related to headaches, posture, how I communicate with my patients about either trigger points or posture, how I assess them, everything right there. I even have articles like how to find a job, because, I've had a clinic, since 92, and I just see some of the common, simple mistakes that therapists make when they're even out there looking for a job, so I try to pass that on. And you know what? I was out there making the same mistakes myself. I didn't know any better. You do the best you can and you move forward every day, like we were talking about earlier, Felicia, right? Every day you pick up the ball and you move it forward a little bit more, and you're, in all the areas of your life if you can.
That's right. It's an ongoing process.
Mm-hmm.
And David's website has lots of great information on there, so I definitely encourage you to check that out. And David, is the information about your other upcoming courses or products that you offer, is that available there as well?
Yeah, and it is. And also I want to give our listeners a telephone number. If you got something to write down here, I'm going to give it to you. And, of course, it's on the website at the Kent Health website. And that telephone number is 888-574-5600. That's going to work in the United States toll free. Again, that's 888-574-5600. Call, ask for Sandy. Sandy will give you any bit of information. Like if you have questions about the website, or you're not a reader, you just want to call and talk to someone, call in. If Sandy's not available, I'll be there. I can talk with you. But he's always got all the answers as well. And then, you got to follow through. You're going to read these different articles and you're going to see these tips. And it's one thing, like Felicia said, to tell your patients. It's another thing when you start applying these concepts to yourself. It makes a world of difference. And I only say it because I was the person who had chronic headaches, who woke up every day with headaches, who was taking a ton of medication. I'm taking the prophylactic so I shouldn't get a headache medication. I'm taking the abortive medication when I got a headache. But I'm still always having headaches, and I'm vomiting, I'm sick, I'm nauseous, I'm not sleeping well, and they're giving me medications for the sleep. It just became a vicious cycle. And today I take no prescription medications. I don't have any of the issues that I had. It's just amazing what the body is capable of doing. Now, I'm not saying we can do that for everybody, but I'll tell you, we can make some major changes for people in the muscular component of their headache for sure, and then help get them on track to the other things that are triggering their headaches, if it's something that can be affected a different way as well.
Well, you are a walking testimonial, David, of your work and all of the advice that you give. I definitely recommend that people sign up for your class on headaches. types, triggers, and treatments, as well as your other classes at the conference. Right now, what I'd like to do is shift and give everyone information on just how they can do that. The American Massage, Chiropractic, and Acupuncture Conference is one of the largest exhibitions of massage, chiropractic, and acupuncture products, continuing education, and business opportunities for practitioners of all disciplines. This year's conference will feature over 100 exhibitors, continuing education classes of 1 hour, 3 hour, and 1-day workshops, including both of David's classes. Other events during the weekend include a free keynote presentation sponsored by ABMP with Dean Juhan, the author of Job's Body, a charity golf tournament benefiting the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and the One Concept Gala and Dinner Dance. The registration cost for the general conference is just $40, which includes admission to the trade halls and all 1-hour presentations, participation in raffles, and giveaways of literally thousands of dollars in prizes, between class coffee breaks, and loaded goodie bags. Attendees will also have access to many special offers and promotions from the conference exhibitors, as well as the chance to have an awesome time with friends and colleagues. For students, the conference offers a free student day and Smart from the Start program on Friday, which is sponsored by Massage Warehouse Script and Performance Health. This day is dedicated to massage, chiropractic, and acupuncture students who are currently enrolled in school or who will graduate in 2012, and includes a free gift bag for the first 350 people. Also on Friday, all attendees are invited to attend a special presentation, Disciplines Unite, from 12 until 2, and the One Concept Job Fair from 2 until 4. All of this is happening at the Conference Hotel, the Town and Country Resort and Conference Center, and I definitely suggest you make plans to stay there if at all possible. Single and double rates are just $125 a night, but space is limited, so please make your reservations now. Also, MPA Media is printing the American Massage, Chiropractic, and Acupuncture Conference event program inside all 3 of their magazines, Massage Today, Acupuncture Today, and Dynamic Chiropractic. These will be given out at the conference and distributed throughout the U.S. to over 133,000 practitioners. So if you are a vendor or educator who is listening in today and you want to get some great exposure for your product or education, please contact Sandy Pierce of MPA Media for details on being a part of the conference program. Now, if you're ready to register for the American Massage, Chiropractic, and Acupuncture Conference, April 20th through 22nd in San Diego, California, and of course to meet David Kent, myself, and the other amazing presenters, there are a couple of ways to do so. First, you can register online and pick your courses instantly at one of the official conference websites, AmericanMassageConference.com, AmericanAcupunctureConference.com, or AmericanChiropracticConference.com, depending on your discipline. You can also register by phone. The call is free, and operators are waiting. Hope you saved your pen, as I'm going to give you the number. It's 877-674-3504. That's 877-674-3504. We also invite you to stay connected with us on Facebook at facebook.com/American Massage Conference, American Chiropractic Conference, and American Acupuncture Conference. Again, the 2012 American Massage, Chiropractic, and Acupuncture Conference is made possible by all of our wonderful sponsors. Thank you so much to Massage Warehouse Script, MPA Media, H.J. Ross, ABMP, and Massage Envy Careers. I hope after today's broadcast, everyone listening is ready to come to the conference and, of course, to register for David's class, Headaches, Types, Triggers, and Treatments. David, as always, thanks for making time to talk with me today, and of course for choosing to be a part of the 2012 American Massage, Chiropractic, and Acupuncture Conference. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in California, and we're very excited to have you at this year's event.
Hey, Felicia, I want to say thank you. It's always a pleasure working with you. You rock. You're awesome. You're organized. I want to say to people out there, if you haven't looked at her information, you definitely should. I look forward to seeing you, Felicia, out there. seeing the whole One Concept team and all our sponsors, and I hope our listeners are able to get there. And if I haven't met you before, I look forward to meeting you at the conference, and if we've met before, I look forward to uniting. So take care, and again, thank you for having me today, Felicia.
It's our pleasure, as always. This is Felicia Brown, and on behalf of everyone from the American Massage, Chiropractic, and Acupuncture Conference and One Concept Radio, I want to thank you for tuning in to this edition of the pre-conference broadcast series. Please remember to tune in each week through April 16th for more interviews and to visit our websites and Facebook pages for replays of all the interviews in this series. We look forward to seeing you in San Diego in April. Please also consider joining us for the Canadian Massage Conference, held November 1st through 3rd in Burlington, Ontario, Canada. Thanks again for tuning in, and have a fabulous day.